The verse I'm about to read is one of the most quoted verses in the Bible, and possibly also one of the most misunderstood and taken out of context. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Because if we don't understand the context, we may miss the message. And I'm not saying that there is no time that this verse will not apply to individuals. But before we just assume that this is a standalone verse, because if it is an alone doctrine, we will be mistaken. Jeremiah says from the Lord to the children of Israel who had been in Babylon in captivity for a long while. And in fact, if you read a few verses up, the Lord says, when Babylonia's 70 years are over, I will show my concern for you and keep my promise to bring you back home. That's verse 10. This is verse 11. I know the plans I have for you, plans to bring you prosperity and not disaster, plans to bring about the future you hope for. So when we just read verse 11 by itself, it's an amazing, exciting promise. But when you take it in context of where the verse lands, you understand that the children of Israel are experiencing a hardship that was brought on themselves because they did not worship God, and they were actually in punishment, but the punishment had a limit, and God was saying, I haven't forgotten my promise, and I'm going to take you back out of this difficult place. Now, I know the plans I have for you, plans to bring you prosperity and not disaster, plans to bring about the future you hope for, is still a future promise to a people in a current pain. And so I want you to understand this is an exciting, amazing verse. However, do not take it out of context, and it may or may not apply to individuals reading this verse, because this was a promise to the children of Israel during a time of difficulty. And God absolutely kept this promise. Later on, we learned that they were, in fact, rescued out of this situation. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention, not to say stop quoting it, not to say don't believe it as an application to yourself, but understand that when we read the Bible, no single verse is a standalone doctrine. Everything is connected, and every verse should be at least referred back to the context from which it was said.